Nature created man and woman as equals. This is what the father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi, has to say. Woman is the companion of man, gifted with equal mental capacities. She has the right to participate in the minutest details in the activities of man, and has the equal right to liberty of freedom and liberty with him. So in the day when he lived so many years ago, according to him, men and women were equal. This warming up activity shows you how women are discriminated against. Sometimes made to do the housework while her brother goes to school. And sometimes when she is an adult, she is only cooking and looking after her house and her children and her family. What is gender equality? It is a human right, not a female fight. Be creative and now create your own slogan on gender equality. Nature creates man and woman as equals. The house and its surroundings were a sight of peace. It was an early morning of April. The house was by a small stream of crystal clear water. The stream came down from the green mountains only 2 miles away, and all around this house there was a stretch of hundreds of acres of fertile land with yellow mustard flowers. There was a garden in front of the house, and trees of many kinds bearing flowers and fruits grew on all sides of the house. The courtyard smelt of jasmine, which blooms in bunches of white pearls. The fragrance of jasmine mixed with the thin smoke that rose from the incense sticks. The incense sticks were burnt for God in the middle of the courtyard. Ashangbi is in her reading room and is busy writing an article. She is a middle-aged mother of 3 children and a journalist and a women rights activist. Lanthoi, her youngest daughter, enters the room. She is a clever girl. She takes a seat by her mother's side and her mother lovingly asks her, "Have you finished your studies?" "Yes, mother, I finished it last night," she says. "Today is Sunday and I want to do something interesting." "Tell me what to do," says Ashangbi. So she tells her mother that she is going to represent the Siroi Lily House as a speaker in the symposium at her school. And the topic is God created men and women as equals. Now she asks the mother, "Will you spare some time to discuss with me?" Now Lanthoi had just had a discussion with her father on the same topic. Now her father Tomba was a supportive husband. He supported all the activities of his wife and he was a very loving father. He was a lawyer and a social worker and always advocated the cause of women. He was very proud of his wife, 2 daughters and his son. And whenever needed, he extended a helping hand to his wife and children and to the society. He did not discriminate between a man and a woman and their work, and therefore he shared work equally in the house with his wife and did household chores like cleaning, washing, cooking, feeding the children. If he had not done these things, his wife would not have a job. She would not be able to be a successful journalist and a human rights activist. Now, Tomba believed wholeheartedly in equality of class, religion, and most importantly, gender. Now, when his daughter Lanthoi was discussing with him, he felt very sad about the status of women in society. He told her, "My dear child, the world is still full of inequalities. We have to find a way to bring equality between men and women." Now, Lanthoi Tomba's ears were ringing in Lanthoi's ears, and she told her mother exactly what her father had told her. Continuing to talk about women's status in society, Ashangbi tells her daughter, "Your father Tomba is right. In no society do women enjoy the same opportunities enjoyed by men." She tells her, "It is because of Tomba that I feel no difference or inequality at home. But outside our home, I see that women are subjugated in many ways. And subjugation is against the will of God, because God sent men and women to earth to share the joys and blessings of life equally, to share His blessings, to enjoy the bounty of nature equally." Ashangbi knows well that men and women are equal. Women are half of the human race and are as important as men. She writes about it, she talks about these topics. And now her daughter, though she is a child, also understands that her mother is not a person of lesser quality than her father. So she's so happy and she tells her mother, "Our home is full of love and joy because of you, mother." Showing deep affection for this topic, Ashangbi continues to say that pioneer women testify to the equality of women with men. They show that they are as good as men by being the first to go into fields where no man has allowed women to enter before. Now, Lanthoi has been fascinated by the stories of pioneer women. Her grandmother has told her many stories of brave queens who were as brave as kings. There were also women who were makers of home, family, society, and the nation. At the same time, they were also adventurers, okay, who plowed the land, raised crops, had their own cattle, drove cattle. They are in every field and yet they are makers of home, family, society, and the nation. Modern women have become mountaineers, astronauts, scientists, naturalists, saints, social workers, and political leaders. Now, all this proves that there is nothing a woman cannot do, and also that women and men were created as equals. After hearing the views of both her mother and father on this important topic of gender equality, Lanthoi now asks a very pertinent question. She asks her mother, "Are there no rules to make sure that women are treated as equals?" Her mother replied that there are many, and under the aegis or the backing or support of the United Nations, there is a declaration for a new world of equality, a world where there is equal access for women to basic social services including health and education. And the woman has to go out and get educated and not stay at home, where there is equal participation for women in political and economic decision making, equal reward for equal work, and the elimination or the doing away of discrimination and violence against women. And then she tells her daughter, "My dear daughter, along with the United Nations, we can safely say that men and women are equals. Now Lanthoy understands what her mother means, and so now she knows what she is going to speak about in her school the next day. Okay? She thanks her mother, and this 12-year-old girl happily rushes out into the bright morning sun. Okay? As she is so happy that she has understood such an important topic like gender equality. Now let's go to your English workshop. Question 1A. Find from the lesson words or phrases that mean the following. You will have to read up and find these words. As of now, colors means hues. A person who writes for newspapers and magazines is a journalist. Make a difference between means to discriminate. To cry over is to lament. Explain in detail is to throw light upon a topic. Abilities and qualities is potential. Same availability is equal access. A person who brings about social or political change is a social worker. Now, question number 1B, pick out 5 compound words from the lesson. Okay. Now, compound words are words that are formed when 2 or more words are put together to make a new word with a new meaning. For example, foot and ball. They are put together to form a new word, football, which has a totally different meaning. Okay. So from the lesson, we have 5 compound words. Okay. Now these compound words can be like household, or they can be hyphenated like middle-aged, crystal clear, and daughter-in-law. Who said to whom, when and why? The world is full of inequalities. Tomba said these words to Lanthoy. When and or why? When he laments or he's feeling sad about the injustice done to women. I want to do something interesting. Lanthoy says this to Ashangbi because Sunday is a holiday. It is against the will of God. Ashangbi says these words to Lanthoy, okay, because she feels that suppressing women is against the will of God. Okay, and so on. You will continue with this exercise. Pronouns and their types. First of all, pronouns are words used instead of nouns. Now, the 4 types of pronouns that we are going to learn is first personal pronouns. They are used for people like I, you, he, she, my, your, his and hers. Demonstrative pronouns, they point to some noun. For example, this book, that table, these boys, those mangoes. The next is relative pronouns. They replace nouns and also connect sentences. Like this is the boy who ran the race. Okay. And the last one is interrogative pronouns used to ask questions. What, which, who. Okay. Now, exercise. Underline the pronouns in the following sentences and name their types. What do you want to do? I've done the first one for you. What is an interrogative pronoun. You is a personal pronoun. Okay? It is because of your father that I feel no inequality. It, your, and I are pronouns. Now, the next exercise. Read the following lines. Imagine it is the beginning of an instance, some small event that happened. you have experienced. Complete this incident using your imagination, but give it a positive ending. Now the instance is, I had often noticed that in my neighbor's family, the son was greatly pampered. Pampered meaning they did everything for him. But the daughter was treated unfairly. So therefore that shows that there was discrimination in this household. Now I couldn't bear this. So one day I decided to, and you have to continue writing. So I continued like this. You can continue in whichever way you want to express your incident. So one day I decided to do something about this. I went to their house the next morning thinking I would speak to their mother about this. But, and you can continue with this or you can continue straight from here. Be creative, be imaginative and give it a positive. Remember, God created man and woman equal.